everyone. Welcome back to the Happy Girls Guide to Being Whole book club. I hope you are enjoying your reading as much as I am. Chapter 5, Birth Control and Women's Health. Wow, what a great amount of information that Teresa put all in one chapter, right? So I want to know, like, what in this chapter was surprising or new information for you? For me, I think just learning more of the aspects of how the birth control pill affects the cervical crypts. I knew that they damaged the cervical crypts and not allowing them to produce the cervical mucus that they normally would do. And I share that with my Create Model clients all the time. But I think it was really interesting that it was Dr. Eric Odeblad, who is our Sweden doctor who understood the biological valve, and he really researched the cervix and what was happening there. But he was saying that how these types of crypts that produce the good fertile cervical mucus change to ones that don't do that as well as we grow older. But the pill actually allows the woman to mature more quickly or age her cervix. And so I just think, imagine if we're giving this pill to these adolescents, young teen girls who haven't yet even begun to produce the good fertile mucus that they would have had, and we're already aging them by the time they get to the time that they want to have a baby and grow their families. They're not able to. And I see this in my office all the time. So that was really surprising to me. And then I'm also wondering, do you know how the birth control pill works? And more so, do you think that you can explain it to someone else? I think it's really important that when we have new understanding and knowledge about something that is so rapidly being used in our culture, that if we have a better understanding of how to explain the mechanisms, we can share that with a friend. Because that's what happened for me. My friend Shannon, she was cutting my hair and the topic of birth control came up, and she asked if I had known that there was another way to avoid pregnancy without being on the birth control pill. And I had no idea. And so I'm so glad she shared that with me. So I want to challenge you to watch my video on the 3 mechanisms of the birth control pill and allow yourself to be able to clearly explain how it works so that you can share that with a friend. I think that would be a really important thing that we can do as we grow in holistic feminism. I also really loved how she shared a few stories. I think many of us have these similar stories where we were urged to take birth control pills at the early age, and then come to find out after much pain and agony and suffering that there was a better way. And I think those are the clients that my heart goes out to the most. I feel so bad that they weren't given the other choice that was much more healthy for them. And really, they didn't have consent in putting something into their body that was going to affect their future. So I want to know what you think. Like, why is our culture urging young women to take the birth control pill? What are your thoughts on that? And really, truly, what is your role? What do you see your role in changing this, in sharing this with your friends or other women in our culture? I know that I'm doing quite a bit with teaching younger girls about the cycle show and what we're doing here at Ashwood Fertility Care Center. But what's your part? What's your role in this? And also, I want to remind us that we need to listen to women's stories. As you are in conversations with women and they're dealing with different problems with their menstrual cycles and such, I know a lot of people say, like, oh, I don't feel like it's my space or my right to say something to them or to ask them if they've had another way. But goodness, I would want someone to say something to me. I would want them to let me know that there was another way. And that is hard. So we have to learn how to listen to people's stories and then be able to let them know, like, hey, I've experienced this in my own life, or I know someone who was able to find real help through naprotechnology or restorative reproductive technologies. Or if you aren't sure how to share that with them, say, hey, go over to Ashwood Fertility Care Center. They would love to explain all of this to you, or share our YouTube video with them, whatever it is. But let me know in the community, in the questions for chapter 5, what your thoughts are on this. Would really like to know. And also too, like I shared last week, the book, Your Brain on Birth Control, is a fabulous book. I listened to it on Audible. Unfortunately, she has the need to use the F word a lot. But if you can get past that, there's a lot of really good science and understanding on the research that's been done so far. A lot more needs to be happening on the effects of putting the synthetic hormone into our bodies and what it's doing to women's brains. I think it is quite fascinating. And I think for a medication that such a large percentage of our world is consuming, I think we deserve as women to understand what it's doing and to put more funds and time and energy towards the research of what is happening with this. And then on the other hand, allowing us to be so marveled and amazed by what these brains are really capable of, and giving women the opportunity to learn natural methods of fertility awareness. So I want to remind you, if you're watching this today on Thursday, October 20th, tonight is the introductory session of the Create Model with Ashley Paul, certified fertility care practitioner here at Ashwood. We'd love for you to join us for free. So you can go ahead and click the link below, and we'll see you there at 7:30 Central Standard Time. So I look forward to getting into the community and answering questions and communicating and having a great conversation on chapter 5. And I'll be back with you next week with chapter 6. Take care.